Raul Manuel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Magandang hapon, pati rin po sa ating mga resource persons for this briefing. Mr. Chair, narinig natin mula dun sa sinabi po ng mga kinatawan ng PhilHealth tsaka ng DOH na merong 150 billion pesos na surplus, meron ding 280 billion pesos na reserve fund. Ang malaking tanong dito para sa ating mga kababayan, Mr. Chair, sa mga panahon na sinasabing hindi kayang i-cover yung lahat ng mga medical expenses na ating mga kababayan, ay meron palang ganitong napakalaking pera, billion, hundreds of billions, Mr. Chair, na nakaimbak lamang. Kaya yung mga tanong ko, Mr. Chair, would dwell on paano ba nag-arise na may ganitong kalaking surplus at reserve fund ang PhilHealth sa mga panahon na kinakailangan na ating mga kababayan ng urgent and accessible na mga healthcare services. Mr. Chair, actually, bago pa man mag-propose po na maglaan ng zero state subsidy for PhilHealth, in fact, hindi ito yung first time na nagamit bilang dahilan yung malaking surplus and reserve fund ng PhilHealth para hindi ito i-allow na mag-operate through sufficient funds coming from the government. In fact, if we recall, meron ding 90 billion pesos, Mr. Chair, na ni-revert yung PhilHealth back to the Treasury. So this is actually not the first time na may ganitong instance na ang pinagbabatayan din ay yung hundreds of billions na meron yung PhilHealth. So Mr. Chair, nais kong matanong kasi yung nasa website po ng PhilHealth ay financial statement, yung pinaka-latest ay as of June 30, 2024. So Mr. Chair, I will address my questions po sa representative ng PhilHealth. Nakalagay po sa financial statement, ito po ay yung statement of financial position as of June 30. Meron pong, di ba may ini-invest in time deposits ang PhilHealth as part of its assets? Tama po ba?
Yes po, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, as of June 30, 2024, ito ay nasa 99 billion pesos, 186 million, 90,980 pesos. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, mari po bang maipaliwanag in simple terms, saan-saan po naka-invest itong tinatawag na investment in time deposits na umaabot ng actually nearly 100 billion pesos?
Thank you. Mr. Chair, they are, the funds are evenly distributed, almost evenly distributed sa Land Bank po at saka sa DBP po. Almost 50-50 po.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, aside dun sa investment in time deposits, meron ding investment securities at amortized cost. Tama po ba?
Yes po.
And as of June 30, 2024, ito ay nasa 389 billion pesos, or actually almost 390 billion pesos. Is the figure correct? As of June 30?
Correct po. Broken down. To be more specific, Mr. Chair, 351 billion sa Treasury bonds and 28.3 billion sa Treasury bills po, Mr. Chair.
At merong natitirang 10 billion na investment din?
Sa corporate bonds po, Mr. Chair. Yes po.
Sige. Mr. Chair, isa-isahin po natin yung investment in government bonds in layman's terms. Ano po yung ibig sabihin nun?
Sige po. With your permission, Mr. Chair, para mas mabilis, I'll pass you on to my finance guy ng PhilHealth, no? Finance Vice President sa PhilHealth. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Yes, the Chair would like to recognize Mr. Renato Limsiaco.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. For the corporate bonds of the corporation, as of June, we have 10.1 as mentioned. The breakdown of this one, Mr. Chair, are as follows. We have from the SM Prime Holdings, and we have Robinson's Land, and we have Development Bank of the Philippines, meaning to classification po ang pinapasukan ng corporate bonds natin. One properties and the other one ay ang banking, Mr. Chair. Over.
So, Mr. Chair, ibig sabihin merong out of the almost 390 billion pesos, di nakahati ito sa treasury bills, government bonds, tsaka corporate bonds. In layman's terms, di ba pag sinabi po nating bonds, ibig sabihin nag-invest, form po siya ng pagpapautang, tama po ba? Para mag-earn ng interest. Is that correct?
Mr. Chair, when we talk about investment, Mr. Chair, this is the money that we invest to the particular corporation, Mr. Chair, particularly for the corporate bonds. The law provides, UHC law provides that not to exceed 10% of our investable fund will be put in a corporate bonds, Mr. Chair. But this 10.1, Mr. Chair, is barely 2% of the total investable fund, Mr. Chair.
So, yung point natin, Mr. Chair, ibig sabihin yung PhilHealth, nag-invest siya, merong treasury bills. So, ibig sabihin, under din ito sa Bureau of Treasury. Tama po ba? Tapos, meron ding, again, government bonds. Tapos, under the corporate bonds, ibig sabihin yung PhilHealth, nag-invest siya sa SM Prime Holdings. May investment din siya sa Robinsons Land Corporation, tsaka sa Development Bank of the Philippines. Is that
Mr. Chair,
correct?
Mr. Chair, if I can just add.
Mr. Ledesma?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to add, honorable sir, that all of the investments of PhilHealth, it's very clear in the law that we are only allowed to invest in AAA corporate bonds, AAA bonds or better. So, I just wanted to assure this honorable body na lahat po ng linalagyan po namin ng pera are all AAA or better po. So, yung mga hindi masyadong kilalang kumpanya or hindi masyadong maganda yung rating po, hindi namin pwedeng pasukan po. So, the funds that we're investing are very safe po. Kasi lahat po yan AAA. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, that's noted, Mr. Chair. Nonetheless, for the purposes of awareness sa ating mga kababayan, mahalagang alam nila saan talaga ini-invest na yung perang nandyan at ang nagmamanage ay ang PhilHealth. Next, Mr. Chair, kung doon naman sa liabilities, kasi ito ang pinag-uusapan natin kanina ay assets at doon natin nakumpirma na sa ganong mga iba't ibang investments nakalagak ang reserve fund ng PhilHealth. In terms of liabilities, kasi ito rin ay nasisilip na ating mga kababayan at it seems to appear sa latest na mga statements of financial position ng PhilHealth na napakalaki ng liabilities. At ang nagpapalaki po dito, tama po ba merong nakalagay na provision for insurance contract liabilities? At mari po bang maipaliwanag, paano po na-compute itong insurance contract liabilities?
Mr. Chair, can
Yes,
we
Mr.
acknowledge
Ledesma.
our actuary, SVP for Finance, Ma'am Neri?
Miss
actuary.
Nerissa Santiago, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Your Honors. Yung pong insurance contract liabilities, this is in compliance with the Philippine Financial Reporting Standards 4, wherein nire-require po tayo na i-put up as liabilities yung pong future na kakailanganin ng korporasyon para sa ibabayad na future na benefits, minus po yung matatanggap ng korporasyon. So, basically, ang formula po ng insurance contract liabilities is the present value of the future benefit payouts plus the present value of admin cost to administer these claims minus po yung present value of the contributions that the corporation will be receiving.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Follow up, Mr. Chair. Gusto din natin i-confirm yung figure na as of June 30, ang provision for insurance contract liabilities ay nasa 1 trillion 1,149 billion or it's actually, well, roughly 1.15 trillion. Tama po ba yung figure natin?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Lim Siaco, you're recognized.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
That's,
thank you.
1.15 billion, Mr. Chair. A trillion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, gusto din natin i-clarify ito kasi kung titingnan lang siya na ganon, parang lalabas na ang laki ng liabilities ng PhilHealth. Pero gusto din nating mabusisi, paano ba na-compute ang ganitong amount ng liabilities?
Yes, Ms. Nerissa Santiago.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Your Honors. Yun pong insurance contract liabilities, kinocompute po siya sa bawat miyembro na nakapaloob po sa korporasyon as of December 31, 2020. For example, for this case, 2023, no? So, ito pong miyembro na to, may in-expect po tayong babayaran every year in the future hanggang sa mamatay po itong miyembro na to. In-expect po natin na mag-avail siya ng hospital benefits and that would be that is being estimated and discounted to the present. So, halimbawa po, meron po tayong miyembro na 40 years old. So, ito pong 40 years old, in-expect po natin siya, hindi man po siya every year kakailanganin yung benepisyo, meron po tayong ina-estimate na magkano po yung value ng benefit payout niya every year. Tapos po, kasama po doon, yung kinakalculate is the admin cost sa pag-administer nito pong pagbabayad ng claims para sa taong ito. And then, mina-minus po natin yung contribution ng taong ito. Para pong kinukuha natin yung balance between what we will be paying out for this person minus po yung contribution na marireceive natin from this person. So, this is an estimate of future liabilities. So, kung mas malaki po ang in-expect natin na halimbawa, ang in-expect po natin, mabubuhay siya hanggang age 100, ganyan. May expected benefit payouts po tayo, pero ang contribution niya hanggang age 60 lang po. So, kaya po minsan, mas malaki po yung future liabilities natin kasi po yung pagbabayad po is hanggang age 60 lang.
Okay. So, Mr. Chair, para lang po...
Yes, with the indulgence of Congressman
Okay,
Manuel,
With the
the Chair would like to recognize the Honorable Stella Kimbo.
Mr. Chair, baka lang kasi malito ang ating mga kababayan. Hindi naman po kasi life insurance company ang PhilHealth. Ang pinag-uusapan po natin dito ay annual insurance contract. Ito po ay isang pay-as-you-go insurance contract. Ibig sabihin, annual renewals ang binabayad po na premiums ng mga miyembro ay annual po. Kaya ang pinag-uusapan dapat natin dito na ICL ay para sa isang taon lamang. But we can stretch that because under the law, sinasabi na ang reserve fund natin ay dapat ay umabot ng 2 taon. Kaya pwede natin pag-usapan 2 taon. We should not be talking about preparing for liabilities for the entire lifetime of a member. Paano tayo magkakaroon ng liabilities na aabot ng 1 trillion pesos? Mas malaki pa yan sa kabuuang healthcare spending ng buong bansa. It does not make sense, Mr. Chair. Kaya, yun po ang nakakapagtaka, Mr. Chair. Kaya sorry po,
Yes.
Kung Raul, kasi baka po malito na ang buong bansa doon po sa pagpapaliwanag ni Madam actually, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Chair, actually
Yes,
would like
please
to...
continue, Congressman Raul Manuel.
Yes, I'd like to thank the interjection kasi Mr. Chair, kung titingnan lang yung itong June 30, 2024 na financial statement which is available online at sa mga kababayan din naman natin na mas gustong aralin itong issue ay nagko-cause din po talaga ng confusion na ang dating tuloy ay para bang nalulugmok yung PhilHealth kasi ganito kalaki yung kanyang liabilities when in fact ganun nga po pala talaga yung supposedly, no, as mentioned by Rep. Kimbo, ganun dapat yung appreciation sana. No? In fact, Mr. Chair, yung basis ng PhilHealth to compute yung insurance contract liabilities, na-point out po ng COA itself na hindi po ma-ascertain yung faithful representation ng provision for ICL na umaabot ng 1.15 trillion for yun yung na-mention po natin because of several factors. Kaya dahil dyan, Mr. Chair, hopefully ay mas maging malinaw din po sa ating mga kababayan na ganito talaga yung financial standing ngayon ng PhilHealth, na meron po siyang sobrang napakalaking assets, in fact, at marami doon ay nakalagay sa iba't ibang mga investments. Kaya yung gusto nating i-probe, Mr. Chair, bakit tayo umabot sa ganitong punto, di ba? Na also cited by COA, Mr. Chair, yung pag-manage din mismo ng reserve fund ng PhilHealth, na yung investment ng funds actually ay hindi na-consider yung estimated na 2-year projected program expenditures ng PhilHealth. Ibig sabihin, mas nauna na prioritize paano ba pagkakitaan yung reserve fund na meron siya kaysa tiyakin yung benefits para dun sa mga kababayan natin. Na parang baligtad, Mr. Chair, di ba? Supposedly sinet up yung PhilHealth para tiyakin yung kalusugan ng mga kababayan natin. Tapos kung meron siyang sobrang pera, yun yung gamitin niya, pwedeng, halimbawa, may invest siya, edi, tapos tingnan niya saan siya pwedeng mas kumita. Ganun sana ang priorities, Mr. Chair. Pero in the past years talaga, kabaligtaran po yung nangyari. And in fact, even COA cited this sa kanyang mga naging audit reports sa PhilHealth. So with that, Mr. Chair, so to wrap up in my interpellation,
Mr. Chair.
dahil,
Yes, before I recognize you, gusto ko lang maunawaan yung point ni Congressman Raul Manuel. So ang punto po ninyo, parang mas prioritize yung investment kaysa sa pagtulong sa healthcare.
ganun
Tama
yung,
po ba?
ganun yung
po ba yung
lumalabas,
punto
Mr.
ninyo?
Chair. Based mismo dun
Which is kasi
sa...
ang mandate ng PhilHealth is yung healthcare ang dapat na tinitignan. Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Based on the financial standing at kinaka-proud
Okay.
po yun ng
So
PhilHealth,
would you
pero
like
yun
to
pala yung
respond to
lumalabas.
that, Mr. Ledesma?
Yes, Mr. Chair, please. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and we appreciate and duly noted on your comment. No, we will look closely into it. No, naintindihan po namin yung magandang comment po, Mr. Chair. No, we will look closely into it. In line with that, I just want to highlight, Mr. Chair. No, so the COA opinion, yung COA opinion po ng PhilHealth na lumabas noong 2023. Alam niyo po, it's the first time. I don't even think we can remember when PhilHealth ever received ang binigay namin kasing opinion, it was a qualified opinion, Mr. Chair, and historically either either adverse or disclaimer. It was the first year this year, Mr. Chair, in 2023, I'm sorry, that we received a qualified opinion. I think, Mr. Chair, that's a testament to na talagang moving forward po ang PhilHealth. Malaking improvement sa amin yun. But again, duly noted, and thank you, Mr. Chair. I think it's a very interesting comment and opinion. We will, I personally will look closely into it and review. We may have to change our policy. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Following that line of questioning of Congressman Raul Manuel, curious lang ako dito sa isang article na nabasa ko about the comment of the President. Ang sabi po dito ni Presidente, there was this one chance interview. Ito po ay nilabas ng Inquirer. Sabi po ng Presidente, the reason we do not want to subsidize PhilHealth because the subsidy uupo lang sa bank account ng PhilHealth. Hindi magagamit Marami tayong paggagamitan noon, so that's the simple explanation there. Now, my question is, yung subsidy po ba ninyo, saan nyo normally pinapasok na account ito? Sa savings, sa time deposit, o sa current?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, please.
of course, the subsidy from the national government receive po ng ating kahera, and ito po ay pinapasok natin dalawang bagay po. Benefit payment, pambayad natin sa mga benepisyo. Pag hindi po natin magagamit, Mr. Chair, of course, we have also collection from the direct contributors, ay pinapasok po natin ito sa investment po.
Saan sa?
Investment.
Sa investment din.
Opo.
So ibig sabihin, yung subsidy na supposedly ay binibigay ng gobyerno na tulong para magamit sa healthcare na ipapasok sa subsidy, hindi sa healthcare.
Mr. Chair, let me clarify, Mr. Chair.
Please clarify.
Pambayad po natin sa ating benefit from the healthcare providers, Mr. Chair. That's number one. Pag hindi po siya magagamit because mayroon naman tayong enough funds, no, from the direct contributors as well, kasi ano to
Ano pong instance na nagamit ninyo yung subsidy?
Mr.
May
Chair,
mga instance po ba? Kasi kayo na po nagsasabi na ang dami nating pondo. So sobra-sobra yung pondo natin. In fact, may reserve pa tayo. Tapos ngayon, may subsidy. May reserve na, may subsidy pa. So, kasi parang ang interpretation ko dito, ewan ko kung tama yung pagkakaintindi ko, binibigyan tayo ng subsidy para gamitin sa healthcare, pero nangyayari, parang ngayon, naririnig ko po, additional investment na naman po. Kasi, susundan ko po yung statement pa ng ating Pangulo. Ang sabi po ng ating Pangulo, the current problem with PhilHealth is not its budget, nor its coverage, but its system that has been clogged due to its limited processing capacity. So baka mamaya, masyado tayo nakapokus doon sa investment aspect. Medyo hindi na natin, yung serbisyo natin dito sa healthcare, medyo hindi na natin naasikaso. Ito naman talaga ang primary, ito concern lang po ako because ako po meron po akong ka-tie up na dialysis sa district ko. So nung narinig ko po to, kinabahan ako, baka mamaya tamaan yung mga tinutulungan natin mga pasyente, mga dialysis patient natin. But ngayon, naririnig ko po, parang puro investment yung naririnig ko, parang mali yata yung napasok. Yes, please.
Mr. Chair, actually, thank you very much for that comment. Maganda po yung comment nyo. I'll try to answer your question best possible, no? And then I think Sir Net will also want to add, no? Alam nyo, Mr. Chair, ang pwede rin kasi nangyari doon, masyadong malakas yung collection ng premium contributions. In other words, overflowing or na-overstate yung collection ng premium contributions. Secondly, baka pwede rin ang plano namin gawin after the very good comments, Mr. Chair, of Kong Manuel, no? We are going to change our policy and focus more on benefit expansion, which we are currently doing, no? So, ang gagawin namin, well, number one, baka masyadong malakas nga yung overflowing yung premium contributions, diba? And then secondly, we will really focus, or we will continue to what we've been doing in the last 2 years on benefit expansion po, no?
Yes, kasi alam mo, Mr. Ledesma, kami po kasi may sarili kami mga constituents. At number one po talaga sa problema ng constituents namin is healthcare. Yan talaga number one. Ang laking bagay po sa amin yung mga ini-endorse po namin sa DOH, yung mga guarantee letter. Ang laking bagay po niyan. With this PhilHealth, lalong dadagdag po sana yung tulong. Kaya sana, kasi for example, ma-confine ka sa heart center, ang bill mo, 1 million. Sana makukuha ng 1 million yung mga constituents namin. Di ba? Kaya kami, sa totoo lang, kung kinakailangan namin lumuhod sa DOH, para matulungan yung constituents namin. Ginagawa namin eh. Kaya sana ito pong PhilHealth, mag-focus tayo dito sa talagang focus natin, which is yung healthcare benefit, instead sa investment. Because, sorry Mr. Ledesma, chinek ko yung background mo. Investor, mga pinanggalingan mo pala sa mga investment, asset, liability, some. So galing ka pala sa mga, so I understand magaling ka sa investment. But this is an entirely different matter. So dito, ang investment natin dito, buhay ng tao. Yun ang tinitingnan namin lahat ng mga congressman dito. The Chair would like to recognize Congressman Jill Bongalon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kanina, Mr. Chair, binabanggit ho ninyo na yung government subsidy napupunta ho doon sa investment.
Mr. Chair, can I make a quick comment to your point before? Very
Sure.
quick lang.
Sure,
Sorry, Mr. Chair.
Yes, please.
Sorry lang, very quick lang, Mr. Chair. Again, I agree completely po with what you said, no? That's why I want to reiterate, we're focusing on benefit enhancements. Katulad po yung sinasabi nyo, yung 1 million, kunyari may heart issue. That's why we're focusing on benefit enhancements and we are being very aggressive. Like for example po, yung breast cancer, diba dati 100,000, ngayon nasa 1.4 million na. So ang ginagawa namin po, talagang nag-all out kami doon. So at least yung out of pocket, diba? Yung out of pocket ng mga taong bayan or kasi we understand and we hear you loud and clear po, talagang walang pera yung mga, lalo na yung mga indigents, diba? So that's where we're really focused on, no? And talagang hindi kami po titigil yun. Just wanted to highlight that po. Thank you very much po.
Again, thank
Congressman
you, Mr.
Jill.
Chair. This is just a clarification, Mr. Chair, because you have mentioned a while ago na yung government subsidy napupunta lamang sa investment. Clarification lang sapagkat sa 2023 GAA, ang budget ng PhilHealth ay 100 billion. At ang 80 billion doon supposed to be should cater to the indirect contributors. So bakit nyo ini-invest yung subsidy ng government na supposedly yung 80 billion or certain percentage of that budget must cater to the indirect contributors. Same with the 2024 GAA. Ang budget ng PhilHealth is 60 billion. 40 billion doon ay para sa indirect contributions. So, hindi ho natin maintindihan bakit napupunta lahat sa investment, which is supposed to be, you are here to expand the healthcare benefits of the member contributors. Now, ang question ko lang, Mr. Chair, with the excess funds which you can utilize for the expansion of the healthcare benefits, would that also can cater to the indirect contributors? Pwede mo nyo ba i-cater pa yun? Instead, even if without the subsidy from the government, you have so many excess funds eh.